it's a wonderful evening. And we were just saying there's a really great energy here, so it's going to be a fantastic night. So excited. So John said, what do New Jersey people like? So there's a little bit of pressure on you guys. I have to say, because you represent Jersey, I have to say. And I said I'm a Jersey girl through and through. My name's Reverend Janet Nohavec. I'm pastor of the Journey Within Church. I used to be a Catholic nun. And I say for me, I used to sit in the convent, talk to God, the saints, the angels, everybody on the other side. And the minute I said I want to talk to Grandma, they said, oh no, you can't do that. Don't talk to Grandma, because then you're doing Satan's work. So it's not too far a stretch for me to talk to the other side, because in the convent I was talking to everybody. As we begin the evening, we may come directly to you in the audience, I have to say, or we may give you a bit of information about the communicator that's speaking with us. And if it belongs to you, please put up your hand. A couple of people may put up their hands, but that's okay. The information will weasel it down. Gloria is going to come to you with the microphone if we end up believing the message is for you, I have to say. And please speak up. Your sound of the sound of your voice helps make the energy, I have to say, for the evening. So I'm going to start in a little bit. I'll be turning it over to our wonderful guest this evening, John Holland, as I introduce him. So John was saying to me, do you have a link? And I said, isn't that odd, because I just got one. So as we were sitting in the other room, I was aware of the presence of a woman who would have been on a respirator at the end of her life. I do feel she's here for her daughter, who would have been with her at the end of her life. And you would have had to make the decisions to end her life. And that was a real concern to you, I have to say. There's Catholic connections with this, I have to say, so I just have to be honest. And maybe she said, oh, I'm going to get in because she used to be a nun, I have to say. But it is what it is, so I do need to start with it. There's either a Helen or an Eleanor name connected to her. So it might be her name or it could be one of her daughters. I have to say the name seems significant, I have to say. And you would have had a lake house, because she keeps wanting to take me to a lake house that would have been significant during your life, I have to say, or much earlier when you guys were younger, as a place you would have loved to visit. So would anyone understand that so far? And there's some German links in this family, or Polish links, because she told me something to do with cuckoo clocks. So definitely something to do with respiratory distress at the end of her life, and decisions about having no more care. And she didn't want any more care, and that seemed really important. So who can take a good piece of this information? Can you stand up for me when you're over there? She said no, you're away. Only put up your hand if you can take 80% of it. If you can only take one piece of it, please don't take that.
What did you want me to say? Just how
you would understand the woman, I have to say.
I understand things.
Okay, is this mother and grandmother to you?
Mother-in-law.
Ah, and was there issues to do with breathing at the end of her life that seemed very significant?
And I was there.
Okay, terrific. And either German or Polish?
She's German.
Okay, because she cooks either German or Polish food.
She has a sister, Helen.
Oh, perfect.
And
Thank
a
you.
sister-in-law,
Perfect, I have to say. And I don't know if she was a bit of a hoarder or kept a bunch of junk, but she's showing me, I have to say, things piled up, I have to say. And I could pile things up, or she would have had some like antiques or pieces that were a little important to her, because she's showing me some of my things. So I do need to say
more
that.
so antiques.
Perfect, I have to say. She also talks about a tragedy with a younger male. So in her family, I don't know if she had a brother that passed before her, or if her dad died earlier, but there's a man.
Died very young.
Okay, because there was a tragedy, and if there is a good thing about passing, I have to say to everybody here, we do get to meet up with other people on the other side, so she's certainly not alone there, and she's gotten to meet up with a male that passed earlier in her life. That seemed really important that I bring up, I have to say, to you, as she continues to talk about this as well. And she did mention that lake house before. Did you understand that?
A short house.
Okay, because there's definitely a house that went by the water that seems very important to her. I don't know if her feet got very bad at the end, but as I draw closer to her, there's something to do with almost, I don't know if it's a sugar condition or neuropathy, but there was issues to do with her feet.
She had one.
Okay. It's almost like, I don't know, someone used to caress her feet for her in a kindness. I don't know even if, is that you?
No.
Okay.
It was on Twitter.
Thank you. Someone, I can feel someone in absolute love. I mean, if you're rubbing someone's feet at the end of their life, you love them. Right? And you know that. And let's hope someone does that for us, I have to say, when we get older, I have to say, because she doesn't bring that up. So maybe it's a hello to her daughter, I have to say, because someone went out of their way to care, and that is a loving way to care, so I do need to say that. There's something about 2 rings she wants to talk about.
I'm sorry,
2 rings. So I'm not sure if the daughter has it, but she keeps taking me into a jewelry box and something to do with 2 rings.
The daughter has them.
Okay, great, because there's something significant with that, I have to say. And there's a smaller dog coming around me. Now, I don't know if this was yours or hers, but with her in the spiritual realms is a little dog that I'm going to bring up. And he's a little nasty, I have to say.
That would have been my daughter.
Wonderful. Your dog has an attitude. And that's too why, I have to say. But I've got this attitude with the dog. So it's really important I acknowledge that with this, because he's definitely talking about. So your dog's there as well, I have to say. And he just showed himself the way he used to be, so I do need to say that. There's something to do with a headstone or a marker. So I don't know if there was controversy in that family about where someone was laid to rest, or something to do with the headstone not being right. What would you understand of that statement?
I understand that because her last name was my last name, but she was buried under a headstone that had her husband's family's name.
Okay, because there's something
So
not
there was
right.
a little confusion.
Oh, I'd say she wasn't happy about that. I hope they fixed that.
They fixed it.
Okay, good. And she keeps taking me around the end of October, so there's either birthdays that are significant or something she wants around All Souls Day, Halloween time of the year, as I head into the fall. So either there's a significant anniversary or birthday that seems important, but I do need to bring that up in the way it's shown to me, I have to say. But she's really here to thank you, I have to say. I'm going to move on so I can get to a few
Okay.
people, I have to
Thank you.
But there's a tremendous amount of love there, and thank you so much. My second communicator is a younger boy, unfortunately. I do believe the fire department responded to an accident. So I've got a younger man who dies in an accident, I have to say. And for whatever reason, I see fire trucks. So either the fireman responded or maybe it was a volunteer fireman, but I have to say that's important. The name of Thomas is acknowledged somewhere connected to this. So some way, family name, his name, I have to say. But he does make me aware of that name. And he liked to dance a little bit, I have to say. I don't know what this is about, but he wants me like dancing. And I've got a bad knee at the minute, and I'm not doing it. But he thinks I should be dancing because he was just full of personality. I don't think he was long into having his license, so maybe a couple years into having his license. And he says that it's not his fault, whatever happened with the accident, and he said it was wet when it happened. So either there was snow or there was rain, but there's tragedy with this. And I do feel someone else seemed to have caused it, because he keeps saying not his fault. So who would understand some of this, I have to say? And I don't have my glasses on. So a younger male dies of an accident, I have to say. And some way, I don't know what it's about, but there's a response here, it's something to do with the fire department. Is there a hand there? I'm sorry, I can't see it. Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Good. I just don't understand Thomas, I don't know.
Okay, I'll help with that in a little bit. Would you understand the rest of this?
Well, it was an accident, and it was a car overturned into water. And
Okay.
there's a lot of ambulances and...
Okay, it's something with the fire department, so I don't know what that was about, or if they had to come to assist in the rescue.
I don't know.
There's something significant with it, I have to say. I don't know if this is a cousin or nephew to you, I have to say.
Nephew.
Okay, because it feels cousin or nephew. I didn't feel it was a son, I have to say. Was he a happy-go-lucky kid?
Very.
Because I have to say, this whole dancing thing or this moving thing, or it's a good kid and a tragedy happens, so you would understand that.
Yes.
And the name of Robert is mentioned somewhere here. Yes. Remember, I said the name Robert or Bob. Doesn't have to be his name, but it should be significant around him. Yeah, that's close enough.
Nephew-in-law that time.
Okay, thank you. Because They don't usually waste a thought, so if you say, no, I don't know that, you should think a little harder. It's all right, but did you said he's passed as well?
Yes.
It could be him just trying to say hello to people here.
Right.
Because if he sees this as an opportunity to get to somebody, they say like jump, I have to say. So he's probably trying to say hello to someone here. And you did say the wrong, so I knew it was important, I have to say. I don't know if you were close with your nephew, I have to say, but he seems to show me you at dining room tables for some reason. So
A lot of times.
okay, because you seem very present, and you seem to have your own seat at the table, I have to say. So at meal times or holidays, probably, I have to say, you seem very present to me. I'm not sure if your nephew sketched.
No, I don't believe so.
There's something he's showing me with the drawing.
Oh, he did a lot of stuff with metalwork.
There's
A
something
lot of truck seat belts and things like that.
okay, there's something with sketching, I have to say. So if it's design work, that would be fine. But I believe he loved that.
Yes.
And I do need to say that. He says with him in the spiritual realms is an older man that would have gone from heart attack. So I don't know if this is a grandfather to him or an uncle to him.
Well, my father passed too.
It would be from a heart attack, though, I have to say. Because I want a heart attack passing.
There was a heart, yeah, that'd be my uncle.
Perfect, I have to say, because a heart attack passing is just acknowledged. Why don't you talk about the month of May? I want to go around the 2nd or the 21st or the 12th. I'm dyslexic with my numbers, so 21, 2nd, 1st, I have to say. It would be an important date, I have to say. You have a lot of people with him on the other side, because as I talk to you, there's a small army farm, and some had a little bit of weight to them. So I don't know if your grandma had some weight, but this lady carries, and your grandma rules, I have to say. Unless this is your mom, I have to say, but there's a woman trying to pull in here with me, who I have to say was one of the strongest women you would have met. And she carried some weight. And she's trying to come in on this reading, I have to say. And I do feel either there's a necklace of hers or rosary beads left behind. Because she's pinching in on his reading, I have to say. But comes with a tremendous, but a very strong woman. You don't whine, I have to say. You get back up no matter what's going on, and you just pull up your bootstraps, I have to say, and you keep going. And no matter how bad the suffering is, I have to say, you don't show it on the face.
No.
I have to say, you would understand.
Strong, yes.
Yes, I do have to say that. I don't know if you have a statue of Mary of her. There's something with the Blessed Mother with her. So
she'd be very involved with the Blessed Mother.
okay, because there's something with the Blessed Mother that seems very, she's pretty much pushed him out of the way now, your mom. Oh well. She did get her way in here, I have to say that, God bless her. I don't know if she cleaned houses for a while.
I don't know, maybe when she was younger, I don't know.
I have to say a long time ago, when I was like 18, I cleaned houses for a while. And she showed me something to do with like scrubber woman. So either that or her house was like impeccably clean.
Well, she'd like us to keep it clean.
Impeccably.
A place for everything and everything in its place.
That's right, I have to say. There's something very important about that, she says, so I do need to say that as well. You've either kept letters of hers or recipes.
Yes, my sister has.
She showed me handwritten items that would be very important of hers in her writing, I think, I have to say. So if your sister got them, that's fine enough for me, but she brings that up as very important, so
okay.
I do have to say. And she's around, I don't want to say all the time because they are living a life over there, I have to say. So, and we need to know that. They don't just follow us around and have nothing to do, I have to say. But in a blink of an eye, they visit, in a blink of an eye, they're back, I have to say. And she's as strong as she ever was, I have to say. Did she have either a gallbladder scar? Why do I have a big scar with her?
She did have stomach problems.
She showed me something wrong here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she had a gallbladder out or something about a scar here that she just acknowledges. So we regress that it because there's something that would have been important here she didn't keep showing me.
Okay.
So I've got to say it the way she showed me back. Well, your mom got in here, but mostly because the young guy started it. So take the love that's there, I have to say. I'm going to move on slowly.
Thank you.
I've got a gentleman next to me that had a massive heart attack. I have to say died very quickly. Nobody got to say goodbye. I have to say here 1 minute, gone the next. I do feel he was either on his way to work or at work when this happened, and you would not have been there. And that was a big issue, I have to say. I'm not sure if his wife is here, if his daughter is here. But it seems very important to talk about this, I have to say. And let me just get a little bit more information, because that could fit a lot of people, I have to say. So, and it's either John or Joseph that he's talking about, someone connected to this. So that name has got to be around us in some way, because it seems important. Let me just go on a wee bit more. He's showing me books and papers, so either there's something with having his own business, or something to do with accounting, but I know I want numbers for some reason, so that seems to be important to his life. And I do feel when he passed, things were not left in order. So either he didn't know he was going and didn't put the will in place, I have to say, but there's something, or it took a long time to sort the estate. Now we can take part of this. Okay, there's a lady over here, one there. So let's see, let me hear your voice first there over there. Could you stand for us? Hi, how are you? Would you understand most of the information?
Yes.
Okay, all of it?
Just not the John.
Okay, so then we'll help you find that, I have to say, because they'll help us find it, I have to say. And would this be father to you?
No, brother.
And let me just hear over here, if I could.
John, he was my father.
Okay.
He did his own books.
I'm so sorry, it just feels more right there, so. And that was your father?
Yes.
Thank you. It just didn't feel right when you said, did you say uncle to me? Brother. It just didn't feel right connection-wise, I have to say, so. Thank you so much, but that just feels more right.
Actually, his name was John Joseph.
Okay, perfect. Even better. As long as you understand the paperwork stuff, because the detail is really important, I have to say. So I do need to say that. Did he have a sense of humor, your dad, though?
Yes.
Because I do want to be laughing, I have to say, and it seems important that I say that to you in the way he brings it to me as well. And this must have been totally unexpected.
Yes.
Because no one saw this coming forward. And he kept talking about what he was talking about. I don't know if the will wasn't left in order, or if it took a long time to settle the estate, or if there was controversy over the estate.
It's hard to say. A couple things, personal things that
Okay.
had to go to different people and things like that.
Either that or something didn't go the way he wanted it to go. So I don't know what that's about, but it's important I say that to you as
Yes,
well.
I understand.
With your father in the spiritual realms, unfortunately, I have a tragic passing here of somebody else. So he brings with him someone else that went quickly. And I felt that would have been an event passing as well. So I don't know if I go back, if there was a grandfather, possibly, I have to say, that passed suddenly as well. But there's a second communicator with him who I felt very quick.
His grandfather went very quick.
Okay, right.
He was very close to
Because
him.
he's saying, same situation, I have to say. Are you the first girl or the baby girl? Your dad makes you very important in the lineup. So were you close with your dad?
Very, very
Okay.
close.
Did someone make you drink a bit?
Yes.
My dad liked his drink, I have to say. A little too much, I have to say, but
Not too much, but he played.
someone liked his drink there a bit. I just have to say that in the way it was brought. And did he even build his own house?
Yes.
Because he's very proud of the house he built, I have to say. And it's important for me to say that to you in the way he's bringing it up. Because that was like a big accomplishment for him. So I do need to say it in the way it was brought to me, I have to say. I don't know that. That's weird. Has someone fallen down steps?
Yes.
Why is he showing me that?
My mom, she just missed the bottom step just a couple days ago.
Get out of here. That's Jersey. When I did that in England, they really didn't know what to do. Like, so if your mom just did that, then your father was around when that happened. And it's true for all of us, I have to say, that they still see what's happening in our lives, and they still care what's happening in their lives, I have to say. So, and that just, because you showed me that somebody's falling, I have to say, or missing steps. So that's perfect, I have to say, because it's definitely bringing me that. Well, I don't know about this next bit, I have to say. Did you date like a rocker?
My sister did.
Is there something to do with Steven Tyler?
My sister's ex-boyfriend looked just like Steven Tyler.
I think he's very handsome, I have to say. The ex-scientist Steven Tyler is kind of wow, I can't believe it.
And his name was John as well.
Okay, no, it's the Steven Tyler, I don't care if it's hello to your sister. And it was his way to get me to say hello to your sister on the show. bringing that up. I like this guy. He's like, some communicators are just fun, I have to say. So, in the tragedy of all your losses, I have to say, there's an energetic feeling. So if they were fun in life, they're still fun on the other side. And it doesn't change your grief, which I know is very deep. So, you know, we may laugh here, and we understand your grief, but if this guy's a comedian, he's still a comedian, I have to say. So I just need to say that. And there's something in bottom drawers with coins.
Yes.
So, either you got silver dollars, or your father had those, like, blue book pennies.
That's exactly what it is.
Because there's blue book pennies in a bottom drawer, he's saying. And they'll be there a long time, I would say. So just remember I said it in that way. Just take his love. I'm going to keep moving so I can get to
Okay, thank you so
people
much.
before. Even though it comes out of my mouth, I can't believe it either. And that's the best way, because it's not about me, I'm just the voice for them. And that's the way it should be. So sometimes I just want to cry, because you just can't believe how they could get across the message, you know. My next lady is a younger female, maybe about 42, that died of cancer. This is either a daughter or a sister to someone here, I have to say, as she comes close. And her hair was very important, she's talking about, or maybe she lost her hair. But it seemed, and now she's showing me the ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz. So somehow the Wizard of Oz must be somehow important to you, or something to do with the family, or red shoes, but it's the ruby slippers, so I just have to bring it up in the way she's showing it to me, I have to say. She went downhill very quickly. They either found the cancer late, or it was advanced, or it's a matter of months she's gone, I have to say. So this isn't a long, drawn out thing. And there's either, I'm sorry I'm dyslexic, there's either a Kathy or a Chris. I want a Casey initial that seems somewhat significant to this. So who can take part of this? There's a hand, oh, there's several hands, I have to say. There's one there, there's one in the back. Are you putting your hand up or no? Over there.
I have a friend, Chris.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so where are people over here? Okay, so could you stand for a moment? What can you take of it?
I can take Kathy, I can take 42, I can take cancer.
Is this sister to you?
She is my cousin that was just like the sister to me. She took care of
Okay,
me.
so let me hear the other two voices. Because what happens to me is one of these voices just speaks to me. So if you wonder how do I decide, the other side says, that's right. This is right. No.
I can take almost all of them.
And this would be related to your house, sir?
Best friend. Best friend.
Okay, and then there's one lady way in the back.
Hi, my sister-in-law was 39 when she passed away from cancer. And her sister's name is Kathy.
I think I'm in the back, I have to say, because I felt it didn't feel right there, sir, with friend, I have to say. But your voice just resonates more with me. Did she go down fast, I have to say, downhill fast?
She had a metastasized cancer,
Okay.
brain cancer, that once she found that out, she did.
Okay, because it seems important. And does she have children left behind? Because there's something about, it's really important that somebody say hello to her children, I have to say so.
She had a son.
Okay, because she keeps talking about children, so it seems very important. That's in part why she's here, I have to say, almost. And I feel there's good news in the family, so I don't know if somebody's graduating or if there's a wedding coming. So you just remember I said that to you, the way she brings it to me, I have to say. With her in the spiritual realms, I'm not sure if this is grandmother to you, but I've got a very tiny woman she brings with her, who's passed.
Her grandmother.
Okay, small, I have to say.
Yes.
And there's something about a rose. So I'm not sure who Rose is, but she does bring that up as important, so I do have to say that to you as well. There was fun times in your family, I have to say. So, same kind of thing, family, food, just get-togethers in that way. And it seems important to her that I say that to you. And are there teachers somewhere around you or with her?
My other sister-in-law works in the school system.
Okay, so maybe it's a hello to her. So you remember I said it to you the way she's bringing it up. It's important that I say that to you as well, she says, as I come around this. She keeps bringing people into the picture. Every communication is different, I have to say. Unfortunately, you would also know a male who died kind of quickly, where I felt there was no goodbyes. So I'm not sure if this is a heart attack or an accident she's talking about, but I want someone that went quick. And she's bringing it up, so I'm not sure if it was her father or her grandfather, but I've got to say that to you in the way she shows it to me as I make a link there with her, I have to say. She's just thanking people because I think the family must have rallied around her, I have to say, and that's the main reason she's coming, I have to say, is to thank you and to thank everybody that cooked for her, they took care of her. And this is a woman who didn't really want sympathy. She didn't deal well with this, I have to say, this last stage, but I think she just, and there was something about her hair, I don't know what that's about, would you understand that?
She lost all her hair and she had a wig
I
on.
need you to tell you, her
It
hair,
really upset her.
okay, her hair is all better, it's really important for me to say that in the way she shows it to me, I have to say. And there's a collie-looking dog coming around me. There's a medium-sized dog that she's bringing with her, so I don't know if that's hers or yours, but I just need to acknowledge it the way she brought it to me. But she's really just come to thank you, so I can't think there's a bigger message except for thank you for everything you did and everything around, and to reach out to her child, I have to say. It seems really important, so thanks so much, and anything that relay that to him, I appreciate it, I have to say. The next gentleman, I have to say, is a big guy, like the brawny towel man, I have to say. But he had weight to him. He did everything he should not have done, I have to say. And he says that. And I think that made him not live a completely full life, or he could have lived longer, I have to say. Someone's father, I have to say, possibly a husband, I have to say, but it's very close to my heart, I have to say. And he says your family would not always have been easy, or it could have been difficult at times. So he's almost coming here with an apology, I have to say, as he's drawn closer to me and starting to blend here a bit more, I have to say. And there's just something, I don't know if there's woodworkers in your family or if he did something to do with woodworking. Would someone understand this?
I would. Thanks.
Let's just see. What can you take? Thank you.
I can take the different pieces of it. I mean, I do have.
With one communicator. You can't spread it out across several people.
Oh, okay. Well, I did have a grandfather. Great-grandfather was a wood carver.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you have to take all the other stuff.
And the other.
A tall gentleman, a big guy, didn't listen to nobody, and could be a bit tough on his family.
The heavy step reminds me. Yeah.
No.
Not from.
Okay, there's another hand over there, I have to say, and there will seem to be one over there too. No, but it has to come all together, the energy just doesn't flow. Actually, there's two hands over that way. Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
It could be my dad. He was a tall guy, big guy,
Okay.
didn't listen to anybody,
All right.
and he was tough on us.
Okay. And something with woodwork? or
Yes, he worked with wood and my brothers.
Okay. There's one other hand just close to you over there, Gloria.
I can take it all. My husband was 6'8", and he was a construction worker.
What about woodworking?
He used to build things on the side for us and the kids.
I'm going to come back to you, okay? So the lady in pink, I'm coming right back. So the lady with blonde hair, Gloria, I'm so sorry. Go back to her, I have to say. So this was husband to you, I have to say?
Yes, when he was 14 years old.
Okay. There's something with money, so I don't know if he didn't leave things in order for you,
Correct.
or left things in mess, I have to say.
Complete mess, and he lived his life crazy.
Okay, I need to bring you an apology from him, I have to say. I do feel he loved you, and I do need to say that to you, but he seems to really want to apologize here. Did someone have a motorcycle?
His best friend.
Because there's something significant here with motorcycles. And there's something with a William or a Bill that's just being talked about. So I don't know if that's another friend of his, I have to say. But it's really important I bring this apology to you, I have to say, in the way he brings it. I'm going to go back, so please take the apology from your husband and a tremendous amount of love. But I didn't want to let him go because the minute I heard your voice, as much as hers felt right, it's like I've got to split this link. And it seems important that I do that to you. Do you have his boots or his shoes?
He had a size 20 shoe. And
Oh my God!
and he was, it's a big story. When he was dying in the hospital, it was always a huge thing to the nurses that his feet were so big that they were just, and we had a shoe against the door, and when they would come in, they thought it was like to keep the door open. And it was actually a shoe.
Wow! Okay, that's definitely an apology, but I love you. So, good. So then, can we go back to the lady in the picture? So thank you so much. say. It's always good when they write something in there, I have to say. So, to you, it was father, I have to say.
Yes.
So I do believe I have both of those communicators, so I'm just going to continue with you with your father, I have to say.
Okay.
But I don't think as big a feet as that man.
No.
Is someone musical in your family?
Yes.
Why is there a big music thing here now?
Because there's a lot of music in our family.
Okay.
A lot of
It
entertainment.
seems really important. I don't know why I asked over here earlier when we were trying to set up this PA system. It took a really long time. Dave might not know how to do that, but it's up with this musical connection that seems really important that I say to you. And I keep wanting to go to like Jersey City or Newark.
Yeah. But someone in my family was he was a musician, and he would entertain everybody.
Okay, because I want to be in Jersey City or something to do in that way, so I've got to say that in a way. He also keeps taking me down to either Florida or North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's where my dad is from.
Oh, yeah, excellent. I might as well have a good time, too. So as long as you understand North Carolina, that seems important. Your dad keeps bringing me threes. So I don't know if you have a synchronicity with threes or if it was a favorite number of his.
It's important to me.
Okay, good. As long as you understand why he's giving me three.
Yes.
It seems really important that I say that to you. I have to say. That's weird. But why would you show me Stephen King? I don't even know why. Anyone called Stephen?
My brother's name is Stephen.
I don't like Stephen.
I knew Stephen King. I used to read his books.
And I don't believe in any of that.
But I don't do it anymore, but I used to.
I think it's all over your brother and forget Stephen King. There's definitely something about that. And there's big military connections here somehow. Someone
Yes.
had a big pride about serving their country.
My nephew.
Okay. Is he here or past?
My nephew's here.
Okay. So then there's a big respect from your father, possibly,
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
But there's a big thing about a military thing.
Yes.
This seems very important that I say to you, I have to say, because it's definitely shown in that way.
Yes.
And he just kept talking about, I don't know, that's weird about that Stephen King thing. I have to say. But as long as you understand that with your brother, it does seem important to me, I have to say. I need to thank you. So I don't know if you take care of family,
Yes,
or
I
you've
do.
become the matriarch of the family.
Yes.
I have to say, but there's a big thank you to you for everything you're still doing.
Yes.
I have to say. And unfortunately, in your family, I do feel there was a kid that was passed.
Yes.
Because I've got my hand on a child now.
Yeah. Well, he was a teenager.
Let me see if that feels right. But I know your dad's bringing with him a younger person, and I do need to acknowledge that.
Okay.
And that seems very important that I'm to bring that to you.
Yes, it is. It's very significant.
Okay.
But he was a teenager.
That's fine. I can't tell you he's my talker. Your father's my talker.
Okay.
I have to say, but he does want you to know he has this younger person with him, and it just seems really important that I say that to you.
Well, how young is the?
I'll go with what you said. I just know I had someone that didn't live a full life.
Okay.
And as I said before, I didn't feel it was my main communicator, your father is, I would say. But, you know, I know it's split in the length. They didn't want me to not go to either one of you. So it seems really important that I bring your father's love, I have to say. And apologies, I have to say. And a tremendous amount of love there. So thank you so much.
Well, I'll tell you about the music. My cousin, he passed away not too long ago.
Okay.
And he was a
There's
musician.
a huge music connection from the other side that I've got to bring. And I can't tell you the other people developed. Your father's told me about them.
Yeah.
So I have to be honest in the way it was shown, I have to say. But he held his ground, I have to say, your dad. And he was a big guy.
Oh, he would hold his ground.
So, and I think the whole Stephen King thing is about your brother. I have to
Yes.
say. So, just
Well,
remember.
because my brother's a horror show, that's why. In his own way. Thank you.
I think that's what he meant. You're welcome. Well, I was just going to say, oh, Jesus. or those old Raleighs, I have to say. So I've got a man who died of cancer who must have loved Bonanza, because that's Bonanza, right? It is what it is. I can't make this stuff up, I have to say. So, man in spirit, emphysema, lung cancer, smoked till the day he died, even though they said you should quit. I have to say, he didn't care, neither did my father, they smoked to the end, I have to say. So did this man, I have to say. There was a separation, if this belongs to you, it's either his daughter or his wife is here, I think, I have to say. But there was a split in the family, or there was trouble in the family. There's already a hand up, I have to say. Do you really know an answer for some reason, I have to say? It's here in the middle, I have to say. Definitely emphysema, definitely either a cancer condition, I have to say. But first thing really important, but there was trouble in the family, or there was a split in the family that seemed important.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, my dad died of lung cancer.
Okay.
He smoked like a fiend.
Good.
Like he would light the cigarette before he throws the first one.
My dad did that same
And he
thing.
did watch Bonanza when it was his, the Bonanza time, and he did love it. And he used to sing that.
Not too many other people, guys, that could get a father that sang that song.
Now his daughter.
But is there trouble in the family, or was there fighting in the family, or was there someone he wasn't getting along with?
My dad?
Yes, because there's something he almost felt bad was not left better. So I don't know if he had a brother, if you've got a brother, but there was something about a relationship that was not quite right.
Yeah, I mean, like every family.
He seems that's important to your father, though, so we remember I said that to you. There's someone here, I have to say, or there's something going on with the male here on the earth plane at the minute, because there's a re-energy about that. So there's something to do with there's issues with the male, and it's really important that I say that to you, I have to say. I don't know if you're the baby girl, I have to
I'm
say.
the oldest.
Okay, because you're important in a lineup to your father, so it seems important that I say that to you. And did you have to either clean out a garage, or...
Yeah.
I don't know if you had to clean out his house, or clean out his estate, or...
Yeah, my mom, all of us did.
Okay.
She couldn't stay in the house after
That's
he
fine,
died,
so
we
he
had to
brings
clean
that
it
up.
out.
So it's really important that I say to you, if there's something he's shown me with cleaning out a property, I have to say. I'm sure he was there with you, I have to say, in that, and it seems important. He keeps taking me into the city for some reason. So it reminds me of either Jersey City, or the Brooklyn, or the Bronx, or Patterson, but not at the end of his life where that house was. If I go back a few years, I don't know if it's a grandparent, but there's something with the two-family house in more of a city area he's shown me.
Yes.
You would understand that. Is that grandmother's house?
No, that's his house. That was the one family, they turned it into two.
Okay.
And it's across from George Washington Bridge.
Right, perfect. Because there's something to do with the city, and there's something with this two-family house that seems important. So I've got to say it to you the way he showed it to me as well. He's one tough man, and I don't think he liked doctors, I have to say.
No,
Because they're showing me my mother hates doctors, I have to say. So similarly, I think you probably had a dislike there that seems important, I have to say. And this is really weird too, but oh well. My brother once stitched a cut on himself. No rhyme or reason to idiocy, I have to say. Your father either patched some broken limb of his own, or did something to himself where he needed medical treatment and wouldn't go for a little while.
Probably.
I know.
He was stubborn and he didn't like doctors.
There's something they're showing me like my brother did, I have to say. So there's something where he either broke something and didn't go for attention right away, but he definitely wants to bring that up, I have to say. There is a sentimentality piece to your father, because he showed me the holiday time.
Yes.
So the holidays seem like all bets are off on everything else. We love our family, I have to say. And that, you know, I know that's true in a lot of families, but your father's going down this sentimental journey a little bit with it. And he's talking about either a Lucy or a Louise, I have to say, another relative. Lou, Louise, Lucille. He keeps bringing up this name, so I do feel it's another...
There's a Louis, my uncle, my mom's brother,
Close
who
enough.
died of cancer also.
I have to say. So close enough for me, I have to say, but he does bring it up. So I just got to acknowledge it in the way he showed it to me, I have to say.
And Christmas was his favorite.
He loved Christmas, I got to say.
And he dressed as a Santa and gave the gift.
That holiday seems important to me, I have to say. So I just have to say it in the way it was brought to me. I don't know about that. Did your
From my
father,
mom, does
did
he
your
send a
father,
message to my mom?
did your father hide money, or does your mom hide money? Cash.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you, my mom had nothing, and when my mother finally, didn't have her bedroom anymore and went to reside somewhere else, I said, we've got to check her mattress. We found $10,000.
Oh, wow.
Put away $100 at a time, probably over 50 years. And we were like, oh my God.
So, okay, so maybe my mom, so tell me about it.
I'm telling you, don't throw stuff out till you check. I'm telling you, because I do. And my mother took and she put in pockets, we couldn't throw a thing away without going through it. My mom's still alive though.
Yeah, my mom too.
But I do have to say there's something important about that. Is she very Catholic or something?
Yes.
Because she seems, when they used to kiss
Yeah, she's always.
she kisses her fingers like, I don't know why she's doing that. But your father shows me this image. But there's something very important about that, I have to say, that seems important. And if I go to her house or your house, I'm leaning towards her house, there's something on a dresser with either blue rosary beads.
It's possible.
I know I'm right, so. We'll have to find out. You go to your mom's bedroom dresser, either on the top of the dresser in that first drawer on the left-hand side. I've got blue rosary beads. Or
She
something.
just moved to Florida.
Okay, you
So
remember
that's
what
why.
I just
And I'm
said.
here.
That's
I'll tell
fine.
her.
That he comes to visit her, and that will be proof to her of this visit, I have to say. Because I know I'm right. They don't take me on that journey for no reason. They don't.
She says all the time that she feels this presence.
He's there. He's definitely
That's
there.
what she says.
So,
They love each other.
there's no doubt about it, I have to say. And she must have been somewhat good-looking when she was younger.
Both of
Because
them.
she had good-looking legs, your mom.
Yeah.
I know it, because your father showed me the old stockings with that line of there. She was good-looking, your mom.
Yes, she was.
He really thought so. You have to tell her.
Yes,
You have to say,
yes.
it's not with those stockings.
I always told
I'm
her.
not going down to the Just take the love and the thought. Your father will talk for the rest of the night. Unfortunately, I can't let him. Love to you and love to your mom. And find out what I said about either a blue necklace with Madonna or it's blue rosary beads. And I'm quite sure it's on the left-hand side in the top drawer.
In the top drawer, left hand side.
I know I'm right.
And she's probably hiding money.
I'm telling you.
All right.
My mother's proof of what I just said. My sister would buy her little silver cougarans and coins when she was working really hard. And she hid that way too. I mean, you wouldn't believe what we did. I'm telling you.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, so take the
Any more messages?
No, that's your father's presence just wanted to be there. And the biggest message to all of you is I love you and I'm with you every day.
Oh, that's
Every
nice.
day, I have to say. Who's Joseph or Josephine?
Joseph is my husband.
Hello to him too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I tell you something? My husband has cancer also. So does he see anything?
I think that's maybe why he brought up his name. So he'll do whatever he can. I'm telling you that he brought his name. Your father will do whatever he can from the other side, I have to say. So please know that. And take the love that's there. And I'm so glad he brought that at the end. So I know that people love it. I've got a younger male. Unfortunately, this feels like, to me, a drug overdose. And he's showing me pills on the counter, so there's either Oxycontin around this or something to do with these pills that seems important that I bring up. And he would have been clean at one point, and then he screwed up and went back to drugs, I have to say. And not all back to drugs, I have to say. Somewhere around the family, there's Irish links, or there's an Irish connection, because she's showing me St. Patrick's, or he died around March 18th, I'm not sure, but St. Patrick's Day is right around there. So maybe 19, maybe 17. I have to say. And there's something, I just have to say this, I do feel a tattoo. So someone either got a tattoo in honor of him, or he's got a tattoo. So would anyone understand this so far? Drugs somehow connected to this, I have to say, something to do with the tattoo. And let me see if I can get some more about this. He wasn't a bad kid. There's something to do with school or college. So I do have to say he really in his life was trying to push forward. And he might have gone and dropped out, but there's something to do with I was really trying. And that apology seems really important. I do feel there was heroin around this at one point as well. So he's here for somebody, so where is this? Seems very important because he's like determined. Please speak for me. I don't know if his mom's here or his aunt's here. Let him just come with me. I do have to say Elaine comes to my church, but I don't know, a lot of the information.
I had a friend.
Can you stand up because they saw you?
I had a friend whose son passed from an overdose, and he was in college.
Okay, do you know if there were pills around this at some point?
Well, they started the pills, and then he was doing heroin.
Okay, because there's definitely heroin connected. There's nobody else that can take this? There's another hand there, so let me just hear her voice. Because he's not going to budge till I get a message across that, so.
It would be my dad's brother. He was 19, died of a heroin overdose.
Okay. Had he tried to be clean for a little while? I have to say, Elaine, that feels more right to me. I have to say. So I'm there with you, I have to say.
Okay.
So it's just your voice just feels more right.
Okay.
That's the way it kind of works for us, I have to say, as long as the information's good. Is this back a little while? It doesn't seem recent to me.
Oh, no. Probably the 70s.
Okay. Because this does not feel recent to me.
Yeah, no.
This may go back in time, I have to say, this talked about, I have to say. As well. And they're showing me with him in the spiritual realms. I don't know if this was your grandmother, but the lady who goes in and out of coma or was sedated at the end of her life, she shows me herself in bed, and I just feel she was in and out of it, particularly at the end.
It might have been my dad's grandmother, my great-grandmother.
Okay, because that seems important I bring up to it as well. And they must have had gardens or grew tomatoes. I don't know if your dad had something to do with the garden, but she keeps bringing up this garden that seemed important. So you just remember I said, okay, I have to say, he's just really here because he broke everybody's heart.
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing in the family. And I feel like people couldn't even talk about it for the longest time, or didn't talk about it.
The school thing, he was voted best looking for his high school.
There was a school connection there that seemed important to me. So I do have to say it the way he showed it to me. Did they have a painting done of his or something? Or did they have a painting made of him after the fact? Because there's something that hung on a wall.
My grandma in her bedroom has like a picture of when he was younger, and it looks very handsome.
Perfect. There's something to do with this painting on the wall and the memory that keeps a connection to the wall. So it seems really important that I say that to you, I have to say. But it's almost like, I just can't say the regrets. He is okay, he's definitely at peace on the other side, but he seems to want to, and are you changing direction, either new job or something? I don't know why he's showing me there's a new path. So I think in the next,
like that.
Just remember I said, I don't know why I'm saying this to you, but in the next 2 years, there's a decision here about new path.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it because he brought it to me, I have to say.
Okay.
So I think there's a really good opportunity coming to you because there seems to have been a level of frustration about either work or something with you. So, well, you know he's trying to shower blessings to you in that way. So just take the love and the love that's there with him. So please know he's there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm upstate New York with a fisherman, I have to say. So I've got a man who would have, either Pennsylvania or New York State would have been important. He would have loved fishing, and I don't know if it's fly fishing, but he's showing me waders. You know what they look like, right? So I'm wearing waders at the minute, I have to say. And he loved that, and he would have gotten away to do that. It seems important that I say that to you as well. He talks about 3 females, so I don't know if he had a wife and 2 girls. But this his girls, he keeps talking about his girls, and that seems important to me as well. I do think he got sick, so I don't feel this is a heart attack passing at the end. I do feel there's either a cancer condition or somehow he was sick. I just know I'm not well, but it wasn't a quick passing. But this fishing thing seems to have been important, and maybe even in his life he might have had a boat at one point, because there's something to do with a boat that seems important. But either New York or Pennsylvania would have been important. When can you take there, sir? She's coming over. Can you stand up for us?
My grandfather,
Okay. Fishing, boat?
he had a boat, but my father was a fisherman, doesn't.
Okay, did your dad pass or you?
Yeah, my father's.
Okay, it could be a combination of the
In
two of
upstate
them.
New York.
Perfect, because that seems important, so remember I said that. Was either your father or your grandfather a perfectionist about some work they did? And who would have worked on cars? Or who would have had like a classic Mustang? Or why is he showing me a classic car for some reason?
My father had a GTO.
That's close enough to a Camaro. My brother had a what she said?
My brother was a mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the GTO, I have to say. Because the Camaro looks a little like a GTO, so I do have to say that would make some sense to me, I have to say, as well. I don't know if your father, he's talking about like making money and then losing money. So I don't know if something in his life financially, there was a tough time or a patch, or if he'd even tried a business, your grandfather. But it's almost like something hadn't worked out. And there's something to do with the name of Frank or Francis acknowledged somewhere around this. So it seems to be important to have to say.
His best friend that he fished with was Frank.
Okay,
And
perfect.
just passed.
I do see the hand in the back there, ma'am, but I do feel I am with this gentleman, so thank you so much. It just feels right to me, I have to say. So you would understand the Frank or the
Yeah.
Francis, I have to say, because it seems important that I bring that to you as well. He kept going around for whatever reason. Do you have to do work on your house, or is there concrete?
You have no idea.
Why do you want to be that way? Your father and your grandfather said, are there Italians here?
What?
Are there any Italians here?
No, Greeks.
I'm doing this. I don't know if Greeks do this.
Yeah.
Okay. I really don't know if Greeks do this. I know Italians do this. But either your father or grandfather say, what are you doing, man? Your wife, is that your wife?
Yeah.
Okay. You totally agree, don't you? I have to say. No. You can't let it get too far, God, because then it's even worse, I have to say. So I do need to say that to you, ladies and gentlemen. And do you not throw paperwork away at all? Do you guys keep that? Your father's not There's something to do after like 10 years, you can throw some stuff away. I like your father. Your life, I have to say. So I just need to bring that in the way he showed it to me, and it seems important that I say that to you. He comes, they both come with a tremendous amount of love. Why would I have binoculars or glasses that were really magnified or something? There's something he's showing me with real detail about something. So, what? Or you need glasses?
I got my first pair of glasses.
It's just a father's love for his son. I don't know. Why would I don't know. And I'm afraid to say this, actually. I see Ivan the Terrible.
Oh. Yeah, my mom.
I don't know, and I was afraid to say it, I have to say. So I don't know how that could be interpreted. I can get calls tomorrow about this. Is she still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just don't say anything. You're better off saying
Yes,
nothing.
right.
Is that true? I have to say. Just remember I said that. I have to say. And I'm not sure, there's something about 327. So I don't know if someone passed at 327.
He died on March 25th.
That's the spirit world's way of keeping me humble.
But the 27th is
What?
He was born on the 27th.
It's their way of keeping me humble. It's like try a little harder, we might not do that next time. But as long as you understand that date is important, I have to say. You have broken watches. I know you do. You could have been right about everything else in that all along. You have a watch that doesn't work of his. Or your mom's got it. And I feel there was more than one. And they're not worth any money, I have to say. But there's something that I felt has sentimental value to him. or it might have been left of your grandfathers. And I just need to say there's definitely something to do with this broken watch. So we asked your mom,
Oh,
I have to say. And there's something with the metal. Hold it. The door is opening and closing right now. There's something about a metal. You showed me like an award. So I don't know if it's something you achieved in life, but there's something with it looks like a green award or something.
a license.
What?
I just got another electrical license that's this big and green.
He's so proud of it. I don't know if you put money towards that in the beginning of your life, but he's really proud of that, I gotta say to you. So they loved you, but they got a lot to say. And if you're an electrician, you got no excuse for that house. Just so much love from those men, I have to say, and that's all I gotta say. And they're with you all the time. You got an angel watching over you. Who's an angel, several of us.